Good morning. It is Monday here, early morning. So hello wherever you are. Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, whatever day it happens to be. So starting our week again, listening to the cards like they're the sounds of the ocean. And I was just sitting here. So I've been sitting here for a little bit, just listening to the cards and just getting quiet. And it just reminds me sometimes that sometimes just sitting still is difficult because I don't know why, but the anxiety started popping up. And that's a reason why a lot of people just don't want to sit still, don't want to do the meditation, don't want to look at the tarot, don't want to look at things like that. It's that anxiety, but I try and look at it like if I'm doing this daily and if I feel any anxieties, that what I'm feeling right now then would just be a seed of what could come. So it's a time to reflect on what that is, even if it's free floating and it's just one of those things and blah blah blah. But I try and at least look at it and say, okay, are you going to try and mess up my day? What's going on here? So that way, maybe I can look at it while it's still a seed, take measures, things like that. So, and listening to the card is my particular light switch that says, oh yeah, I'm going to put my feet flat on the floor and I'm going to relax my shoulders and my neck and take a breath and see what the universe has for us today. See if there's any angers, resentments, or anxieties. Anything that if we can review it now while we have a moment of silence, that maybe before it can trigger anything later on, arguments and all that wonderful stuff. Again, maybe if we've analyzed that seed, we can just kind of walk it off, take a breath, not react. You know, I say that each morning just as a reminder of myself also. So, what does the universe have for us today? So Mina came up to, I've been doing this for years now. Mina came up to me and she's like, you sigh an awful lot. I'm like, what do you mean I sigh? She's like, I'll be walking by the door and I'll hear you breathing, like sighing. She's like, have you ever noticed? It's like, no, I'm breathing. I'm doing purposeful breathing. She's like, oh, for all this time, I thought you were just like sighing. So, I'm going to make my 3 stacks here. Each one of these a different thread going out to the universe. Each one a different thought or conversation. Then if we believe in the multiverse, each one of these is a different path. Because this stack will lead us down that one path. This conversation or this one will lead us down a totally different one. So today, let's look at what's right at the heart. Let's look at what's at the center. Let's pull that center one, and I'm going to do our 3-in-1. Flipping them over one at a time, like we're reading the pages of a book. So we have the King of Cups. So kings taking charge, all that wonderful stuff like that. Cups, feelings, emotions, spirituality, those things that, in our soul. And Pamela Coleman Smith has it interesting because the king has to have a clear head, clear mind to be able to govern. But sometimes the emotions can get involved, and so she's got the little extra waves here. She gives us a little fish over here. So it's about being in charge, taking charge, getting something done. But again, sometimes those emotions, which can be a positive thing. This king can say, here's what the law says, but here's what the right thing is. Here's what we should do, but here's the right thing we should do. And then we have the Lovers, which the king is looking at. So with the Lovers is about choices. It's not about relationships per se, the way that I see it, because I look at the historical tarot, where it comes down to more like making the right choices. Here we have Eve is looking up at the archangel up here, looking at that heavenly thing, and we have Adam here looking at Eve. And so we can see that there's a choice to make. And as I always say, that when I look at this card, it's our chance to make the choice. We need to try and determine the right choice. And sometimes if we wait too long, the choice gets made for us. And then we have the Eight of Cups. Eights are about progress, moving forward. And again, cups are feelings, emotions, and spirituality. And when it's reversed like this with the Eight of Cups, the Eight of Cups is about moving forward, being willing to let go of something. Sometimes, we have feelings or we have things that hold us back. And it's hard for us to let go of those things, to be able to move on down that path. So here's the advice card, which is the Seven of Wands. Wands are fire and energy. Sevens are about that potential, that, they call this the victory card if you look at like the Thoth deck or some other decks. But you've moved past the conflicts of the five. You've taken charge. You're ready to move forward. So, with that being the advice card, we can see this choice here that's presented. And these choices are difficult because sometimes to do the next thing, to move forward, we have to be willing to let something go. And that's the struggle. So here we are with the King of Cups. And, he's got a really strong grip on this cup. And we're trying to get things done. We're trying to move forward with our life. We're trying to move forward with the day-to-day. And we have these choices to make. And it's not always easy because there's the right thing, and then there's what our heart is telling us. But we have to make that choice. And what the advice card is saying is that we need to remember that it's not so much about today, but it's about what happens when we finally get to move forward. It's about looking into the future. Here we have the choice, and we're not willing to let go. But when we don't let go, then we're stuck. When we don't advance forward, then we stay where we are. So when I see a spread like this with all these uprights, and I see the one reversed, I see that advice as saying we need to take this card and we need to try and turn it around. We need to become willing to move forward. And we need to look at the positive side of doing that, the victory of overcoming our own emotions and feelings. So that is our thought today of what is it that we struggle to let go of? What do we need to do to be able to see beyond the current moment and make that right choice? And so, where are we? And so this is our Monday. So I will be back again tomorrow. Thank you very much for stopping by. I hope you have an amazing day, an amazing evening, afternoon, an amazing rest of your week. And I will be here tomorrow. Thanks again. Bye.